I am Aavast, though I suspect you've heard my name whispered in more shadowy corners than you'd care to admit. Some call me an enchantress, others a queen of the unseen. These are only words, tools that scrape at the surface of who I truly am. Once, I stood with the guardians of balance, draped in the golden mantle of light. But light deceives, it blinds, leaving you dazzled and unseeing, and in the end, it abandons you. It was darkness that stayed when the light failed. It was shadow that whispered truths the light dared not speak. So I turned to what was real, what was always there, waiting. I turned to the shadows, and I became their voice, their hand, their sovereign. In Troalstone, I am not the scourge some would claim, nor am I the salvation others hope for. I am simply the one who does what must be done. I see potential where others see threats. I find strength where others shrink from fear. Through my guidance, those who were cast aside have found purpose. Through my will, the forgotten have become formidable. You've heard the tales, no doubt, how the veiled den is a place of dark wonders, how those who enter rarely leave unchanged. But they don't tell you what really happens. They spin their stories of doom because they're afraid to admit the truth. I don't bring chaos. I bring clarity. Let me tell you about a certain troll, a proud warrior named Carrick. Once, he stood among Troalkind's finest, a sentinel of light. But when the humans came with their null stone and fire, where was the council? Where were the ones who boasted of their strength? They hesitated, argued, waited too long to act. By the time they finally moved, Carrick's home was ash and his family was gone. The light he had fought to protect had failed him utterly. He came to me broken, clinging to the fragments of a life he couldn't repair. Oh, he didn't come willingly. None of them ever do. He was dragged into the veiled den by his own desperation, his own thirst for something, anything, that might help him feel whole again. And he found me. I didn't promise him vengeance. I didn't promise him salvation. I showed him what he already had, what he could become. I reminded him of the strength he'd hidden away, the fire he'd banked beneath layers of grief. Together we crafted a shadow that danced in the minds of his enemies. He didn't need to lift a weapon. He became the weapon. His opponents flinched before the fight began, already defeated by their fear of what they couldn't see. But what did the storytellers say? They called him a rogue, a turncoat. They whispered that the shadows had consumed him. What they refused to admit was that Carrick found a way to live again, on his terms, not theirs. He didn't betray the Troalkind. He became what they needed, even if they couldn't see it. And when the dust settled, when the humans fell back from our lands, who stood as the unacknowledged savior? Carrick, the warrior reborn in shadow. They'll never give him credit. They'll never give me credit, and that's fine. I don't need their approval. I don't need the light's permission to exist. What I do because it must be done. And if you listen closely, if you hear the shadows and step beyond your fear, I can show you that truth too. If you would listen, I can show you the truth others hide from. I can help you see beyond the glow of false comfort, into the depths of what you are truly capable of. I ask for no allegiance. I demand no loyalty. I only offer knowledge, a different way to look at the world, a different way to find your place within it. Should you choose to stay in the light, so be it. But if you find the shadows calling, if you sense that there's more beyond the edges of what you've been told, then step closer. Listen. You may discover that what you feared most is what you needed all along.